What's going on, everybody? I'm John Jay II, and this is Gin Promotions. Thank you guys for joining us today on a Sunday night. It's Pi Day. It's Selection Sunday. I'm feeling great. Tony, how you feeling?
John Jay, huge day today in the world of sports. Selection Sunday to really kick off the greatest month in sports. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. I don't care who your mom is, who your dad is, who their parents are. The biggest month in sports is getting ready to kick off, and it started today. Today was like the Christmas Eve, and we just have to wait 30 days until Christmas, but it's going to be a fun-filled 30 days.
Exactly. So we just watched the stream on CBS Sports. We saw the reveal of all of the regions for March Madness. Obviously, a very electrifying time. And amongst that news, we see that our own Michigan State Spartans are in the fight. So I guess some people could say, yeah, they're in it. Yeah, they're dancing. But listen, they're in the first four, so they have to beat UCLA to officially be in it. How are we feeling about that pick and, everything revolving around that? Is that deserving of the Spartans to receive that play-in game, or do you think that they should have been officially seeded? Do you think that they should not be in the tournament? What do you think?
Well, okay. Let's put it into context. Okay, let's put the whole entire season into context. We have guys like Jack Hoiberg playing point guard. We have Hogard, who should be playing at Wayne State University. We have Thomas Kithier, who should be playing at Mott Community College. We've got Foster Lawyer, who should be playing at Alma. Okay, this team is not the best team Tom Izzo's had. Now, are there some good pieces? Absolutely, but the bad pieces, there's just a few too many bad pieces in the whole thing, okay? So when you take all that into context, we played a horrible first 3 quarters of the season, and the last quarter of the season, they really kind of started to find their stride, beat 3 top 5 teams within a week and a half. So, look, are they in a play-in game? Yes, they are. But taking into account what this team has gone through this entire season, the committee, if that last week doesn't happen, that committee could have very easily, and they probably would have, said, see you guys, your streak's over, you're done. At least we're in the dance, okay? Tom Izzo has his left dancing shoe on, and once he beats UCLA, which I think he will on Thursday, he will be putting on the right dancing shoe. And then we're officially going to be little rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat. We're going to be dancing, okay? Do we have to get over a hurdle before that? We do, but I would rather have to get over that hurdle than not be playing at all.
Well said. Well said. So, yeah, it's kind of, up in the air as far as, how Michigan State got into the tournament, how, what was decided, what kind of, components were going into that as far as for the committee to decide, okay, Michigan State can be in, but they have to be in through a play-in game. They can't just be seeded immediately, regardless of their top 5 wins in a week and a half, regardless of beating Michigan, things like that. I think them losing in the first round of the Big Ten tournament didn't really help their cause a whole lot, because we were looking for at least one win. We got everything we wanted. I guess we got 1 and 2 against Michigan. We beat Illinois. We beat Ohio State. We lost to Maryland towards the end of the regular season, and then we lost to Maryland in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. So you're kind of splitting hairs. I think Maryland really kind of did us in as far as making us play a play-in game compared to giving us an overall seed.
Yes,
but I'm sure the committee compiled all their data and all their analysis and put it all together, put their heads together, and made this decision. We're looking at a couple other 1 seeds. We're looking at Michigan as a 1 seed, Gonzaga, Baylor, and Illinois. So you look at Michigan and Illinois right there, 2 Big Ten teams, 2 1 seeds. We beat those teams. We beat those teams late in the regular season, both conference games. It wasn't enough to get them in the dance outright. I guess, and I say that delicately because people, like I said, they're going to say, oh, well, they're in the dance. People are tweeting out. Michigan State Twitter pages are tweeting out, listen, we're in the dance. I don't think we're in the dance yet.
See, John, that's where I think you and I have a little bit of teeny tiny little bit of disagreement. Okay. The field, it's a 68-team tournament, correct?
I thought it was a 64-team tournament.
No, you Google it, you go on good old Wikipedia, it's a 68-team tournament, and Michigan State's one of those 68 teams. Again, do we have to beat UCLA? Now, John, remember, John's favorite player in the entire universe is the point guard for UCLA. The kid's name is Tiger, okay? His hair is absolutely horrible. I don't know if John can pull a picture up of this Tiger kid, but it's the worst hair I've ever seen in my entire life, and the kid is absolutely god-awful. I would take Hogard before I took this Tiger kid, okay? So that's who we got to play the first round. But again, we're in the tournament. Next year, when we re-up the season, Michigan State's going to be able to say that we had 23 consecutive tournament appearances, okay? I think we can say that. I think we can. I think the kid's name was Tiger Campbell or something ridiculous like that. And the kid, literally, I sat there and I watched the kid. Look at that. I mean, what? I mean, John, what is that?
So I can't tell you what that is. I can't vouch for this Tiger guy. Listen, I'm not a fan of him. Okay, don't get it twisted. Listen, it is what it is. First four, whatever. I mean, I guess it's more opinionated than anything else. But
it is. I don't
think the first four is in the tournament. I mean, come on. When have we ever seen Michigan State in this scenario? First of all, pretty much never. Not in our lifetime. And to see, you look at teams that are, fighting for those play-in spots, those 11 seeds, those 16 seeds. We kind of are quick to discount the eliteness of those teams. We're really quick to do that. So they're very, overlooked. They're very undermined. And I think that's what really quantifies these teams as the last four in. I mean, that's what makes them the last four in, is by making them play the first round. Because you think about it, the true first round is the second round, because you're not counting the first four. The first four are the only teams that play in that first round. Now, listen, that brings in another set of difficulties. A lot of people will say, oh, well, the first round is when the first set of games are played in all the regions. So yeah, I guess technically speaking, it is the first round when you have all the teams in the whole bracket is set. But literally speaking, it's actually the second round. So
listen,
it's all, yeah.
I completely get where you're coming from, and the majority of Michigan State fans are going to have the same tone as you, and I get it. We're not used to it. This isn't the norm. This isn't ideal even, really. It's not even ideal, okay? But when you take Joey Flames, he literally does – he looks like you could dunk him headfirst into a pail of water and use him to mop your floors. I mean, his hair is that bad. But going back to what John was saying, is I get it. I get where most Spartan fans are coming from. I'm just happy to be in it. I would rather be in this playing game than one of the teams that's hoping somebody gets COVID by Tuesday so we can get it. I would much rather be where we're at right now. And look, all Michigan State has to do is beat UCLA and beat this Tiger kid, okay? And then, boom, now both shoes are officially on. We're tap dancing. We're doing the salsa. We're doing, maybe a little karaoke on the side, or maybe a karaoke bar, okay? But we got to win this game on Thursday. So all Michigan State fans, you got to tune in on Thursday. Give that team your support. But what worries me is this, John, is how bad this team plays on the road. Michigan State plays horribly on the road away from the Breslin. Does that worry you at all?
It definitely does. And you even see them in Indianapolis trying to fight for that. They want that momentum. They want to find that momentum, and they've seen that and they've found it. They found it late in the year, but it's only been at the Breslin. You look at all the top 5 wins. When they beat Michigan, it was at the Breslin. When they beat Illinois, it was at the Breslin. They beat Ohio State, it's at the Breslin. So you see a little bit of a pattern there. I don't know why that is. I don't know if they just like playing at home and they get homesick on the road, but they got to turn the tide because, listen, none of these games are going to be at home coming up.
No.
So even this play-in game is not going to be at home. So I don't want to hear that as an excuse, even though that seems to be the trend as of late. I don't want to see that be the case, and I don't want to see that be, part of the blame as far as, the scrutiny goes for Michigan State, because it's just, I don't think it's a valid excuse on the team's end of things, even though it has shown to be a pattern.
Well, what frustrates me so much is Michigan State. Listen with your two ears, okay? Listen with your two ears, okay? The court is the same length, it's the same width, and the hoops are 10 feet, okay? Everything's the same. Everything's the same. Nothing is different about what goes on the court, okay? But for some reason, Michigan State can't quite figure it out on the road, and that's what worries me about them advancing to the official, I guess, second round, unofficially in most people's eyes, the first round. That's what worries me. But if anybody can win in March, we all know it's that little 5'7" guy from Iron Mountain, Michigan, Tom Izzo. Okay, we all know it's him. I just hope we have enough lead in our pencils to get us a few wins in the tournament. Now that's at least what I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you said, you don't want to end that streak of being, having so many years under your belt where you actually make the tournament. I think once you win against UCLA, then you can say, okay, we made it for the 22nd year. Okay, that's fine. A lot of people, for statistics and other things, they'll probably say, oh, they made it. They made it to the top 68, where they were in contention to play against the other teams that were officially seeded. Right? You mentioned COVID. Talking about COVID, we have teams like Virginia, Kansas that are under COVID protocols. There's people under tracers and everything like that. So that could be a detriment. That could throw a huge wrench in this entire tournament for these teams, because if you have COVID, it's a very easy infestation, especially players are playing, competing, practicing in close proximity of each other. So it makes the spread very, very high risk as far as continuing on the season. Teams have until Tuesday of this week at 6:00, I believe, to declare whether or not they will be playing the tournament, regardless of their COVID. I guess I don't want to say COVID ranking, but how many players on their team that they have that have contracted COVID and currently have COVID. So that's going to throw an interesting variable into the entire tournament. How are you feeling? How do you feel that COVID will be affecting this tournament? We've seen that it affected the March Madness tournament, the big dance, affected it very detrimentally last year by completely canceling and ixnaying the whole thing. How do you see COVID playing a role in this year's tournament?
Well, here's the thing. I think anywhere from 3 to 5 teams between now and the end of the tournament are gonna be out. Whether they declare by Tuesday that they can't do it, whether it's a team catching it somehow during the tournament, I think anywhere from 3 to 5 teams are going to be ex-nayed from the dance. They're going to be asked to leave the dance. They were drinking too much, pregame before the dance, so they got to go home. I think we're going to see that happen. It's almost impossible to avoid it. There's nothing you can do to avoid it. And really what it does is it hurts the athletes, right? These, obviously we're selfish as fans. We want to see them play. Okay. But these are kids that worked their entire lives for these kind of moments, to have them be washed out because of COVID. But I do think anywhere from 3 to 5 teams are going to be ex-nayed between now and end of the tourney. Obviously I don't want that to happen, but I just seeing the COVID trends lately, I think that's going to be kind of the case. But it's going to be really interesting. Again, this is year 2 now of the NCAA tournament with COVID. Obviously, year 1, they demolished the whole entire thing. It's not happening. And we all know Michigan State was going to win it last year. Everyone and their brother knows that was going to be the case. So this year is year 2. Hopefully, we can get through a clean tournament and we can see the best teams play. But we'll just see. We'll see. But what's going to be interesting is these people, and again, I like to look at it from, I guess, a sports betting side of things. These teams that bet on, games, or they have tournament or brackets filled out with these teams and they get kicked out because of COVID. I mean, does that count as you lost that game in the bracket, or do they just, I guess, is it a push? I mean, how's Vegas going to handle this, really? How's Vegas going to handle all this?
So I think if they plead no contest, and I'm bringing a little bit of some courtroom jargon into this, they plead no contest, and there's no, winner, loser, no game. I think that everybody that placed bets on that game will push. So that they'll get their bets back. They won't count as a win for the team that didn't have COVID. Won't count as a loss for the team that contracted COVID. There was no contest. There's no way that Vegas can give or receive any monetary winnings as far as betting goes. That's from my standpoint. Whether that's different for the March Madness Big Dance tournament, I really don't know. I can't give a definitive answer on that. I'd have to look at some of my other sources for that. But from where I see it, I don't think that you can really take anybody's money or give anybody money to do that, because essentially, there's not a lot of people losing or gaining money off of those games. So I don't think that would really come into play, though it would pose a very interesting scenario for both the bettors and the bookies. So
for sure. And I mean, here's a big point to that. This is, I guess, unofficially, maybe not so much, but this is one of Gym Pro's first reboot times in the tournament. So this is a huge opportunity for us here at Gym Pros. We're super excited for it. Obviously, we're going to have money coming out of our ears, placing bets on games daily, hourly, by the minute. Okay, so we're super excited for that. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of the more wild upside down tournaments that we've seen. So with all that being said and all being laid out there, I got to ask, are you ready? Are you sitting down?
Oh, I'm sitting down.
Who do you like?
Who do I like to win it all?
Who do you like? Give me a Final Four. Give me potentially a winner. I mean, can you look that far into the future?
Yeah. So I can try to do that. Just taking a little quick glance at the bracket here. I'm definitely gonna take Gonzaga in the West Conference. In the East, I'm gonna have to take. I really like Texas, man. I really like Texas. They're gonna have to beat Michigan in the Elite Eight if that's the case. If it does come to that, Michigan's whole, their bracket, playing Texas Southern, potentially LSU, St. Bona, Colorado, Georgetown, Florida State. I think those are pretty simple games for Michigan to win if they ever have to, come across those teams in that, scenario. So I like Gonzaga, Texas, and then give me, let's see, I want to throw an upset in there because I think an upset's going to have to find their way into the Final Four if they're really going to want to be about it. So let's throw Wisconsin in there. I like Wisconsin in the South. And then in the Midwest, I'm going to have to take, and this team has screwed me over before. But I'm going to have to take Houston.
Oh.
I really like Houston, man.
Wow.
Or Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's hot too, but I don't think Illinois will make it beyond the Sweet 16.
Okay, so you've given Final Four. You've thrown it out there. Again, now listen, people at Gym Pros are fans, are people, the thousands of people that are going to watch this after the live stream. Don't hold us to this Final Four. The bracket came out an hour ago. This is a rough draft. Okay, this is the paper that you turn into the professor. We're gonna have official Gym Pros brackets published. Okay, this is just a rough draft. This is our rough draft. Okay, so with that being said, John Jay, your rough draft is out there. Of that rough draft,
this is my Final Four. That could change before my actual draft comes out, which we're going to come out with brackets. Yes. Official brackets will come out tomorrow. Yes. Those are coming out tomorrow. And I think that what's an interesting kind of, caveat of all that is we're going to be making our brackets before teams either declare or withdraw due to COVID regulations. So we could potentially have Virginia going to the Final Four. And next thing you know, they're withdrawn because of COVID. So that could botch your entire bracket real quick. before any games are played.
Here's
there's a lot of factors.
Here's what I don't think people understand that we do here differently at Gym Pros. We're going to be on the phones. We're going to be calling Virginia. We're going to be calling all these different schools, picking up, hanging up, seeing who's in, who's not. We're going to be doing the research. Okay, we're going to be doing the research to see who's in this. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be releasing brackets early before anybody else does, but that's because you know what? We did the research to do so. So we feel good about it. So, Bink, of your Final Four, you've given me the Final Four. You said Gonzaga, you said Texas, you said Wisconsin, and you said, who was the other one? Houston, right?
Houston. Yeah.
Who do you like winning it?
See, I got to go to the drawing board on that again. So I can give you kind of a rough estimate right now, but there's only so much I can do for the people. And there's people probably watching this, writing this down and everything like that. Pump the brakes a little bit, okay? I literally just pulled this bracket up. I haven't even seen it before, 20 minutes ago. I just watched the Selection Sunday broadcast on CBS. So hear me out. I really like Gonzaga. They're a powerhouse team. I think they have what it takes to win it all. I really do. But I like Wisconsin making a run.
I love it. Now, can I give my early beeper predictions before the brackets come out?
Go ahead. Yeah, let me get your Final Four, and then give me who you want to take it. You don't have to give too much information. We don't need to give out Sweet 16s and Elite Eights and all that. Just give me a rough draft of your Final Four and who you think is going to win it all.
Okay. Now, I normally don't do this. I normally do not do this, okay? I normally don't go off the eye test because I like to look a little deeper than that because teams can be a little tricky, okay? They can fool you based off of the eye test. But I will say this. I love the way Illinois is playing basketball right now. I love it. Their guard play, I think, is the best in the country. They got that Coffee Cockburn guy. Now, listen, I know in the past I bagged on Illinois, and I unfortunately have a price to pay because of that. I can admit I was wrong. I wasn't right, and I gotta take that one on the chin. Okay, but I do like Illinois. I like Illinois going to the Final Four. In the top half of that, so this would be the South. Man, see, the South is the only one that I don't really know. I'm not very confident on the South, but here's what I'm going to do in the South. Give me Villanova. Give me Villanova coming out of the South. I know they're down a point guard. I know they're down a guard, but I like Nova. Give me Villanova. Give me the Wildcats going to the Final Four out of that one. Now, I'm going to bump on over to the West, okay, the West side of the bracket. And, I mean, to me, this was pretty straightforward. The top half, this is a no-brainer. Give me Gonzaga. I mean, they're absolutely lights out. They've been playing the best basketball anybody in the country. Defensively, they're a little scary, but offensively, they're one of the best teams in the country. Give me Gonzaga. Now, the bottom half is where it gets a little interesting. Now, John stole one of my picks. He did, but you know what? I'm gonna get past that. You want to know who I'm taking, John? You want to know who I'm taking in the East bracket? I'm taking Colorado. Give me the Buffalo. Give me the home of Chauncey Billups. I'm taking a 5 seed to march their way to the Final Four. Give me Colorado.
So wait. Let me get this straight. So I took one of your picks.
You did.
And you diverted from that.
Yes.
To pick somebody else, correct?
Yes, absolutely. That's 1,000,000% what just happened.
So I guess what you're saying is that you. So wait, who did I pick? Who did I pick in the East? I already forgot. I'm
Texas.
looking at the bracket right now. Okay, so yeah, Texas. So you don't think Texas is actually gonna pick it? I hope you're not just picking that because I picked it.
Well, listen, I feel like you and I can't have the same picks. I feel like we can't have the same team going to the Final Four. You took Texas. You took the boys in the burnt orange. So I said, listen, I feel like I can't take them. So I did a little reroute, like your GPS does, and I went ahead and I took a Colorado. Now, again, what officially?
We have the same left half.
What officially goes on paper tomorrow is a different story. But right now, that's who I like.
I love it. I love it. Good deal. So, I mean, listen, bracketology, it's a very, very important time of the year. It's almost like Christmas. Okay, it's almost like New Year's, Thanksgiving. Easter's coming up. Very similar. It's a great segue into Easter. So I'm really excited. Feel free to share your brackets with us. Our brackets will be featured on the website. It'll be all over social media. We'll be following those brackets very closely. But by no means, I want to make this clear, this has nothing to do with our current ongoing gin records. So it's not going to really coincide with that. It's more of a, it's a different story. It's a different kind of analysis, different kind of deal. So keep that in your mind, and let us know when you fill out your own brackets and share them with us. We'd love to see what kind of matchups you guys got, and we'll get you guys our brackets coming up this week. They'll be finished by tomorrow. We'll be getting right to those brackets. It's gonna be priority one.
Well, listen, and here's another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, obviously we have the scumbag team down in Ann Arbor. Okay, I placed money on them and a kind of a big parlay on Saturday, and they absolutely screwed the pooch. Absolutely screwed the pooch. So obviously they're a bunch of scumbags down there. But listen, they're not going to win this thing. Livers is out. And without Livers, that team looks completely different. Completely different. Doesn't look like the same basketball team. So that's why personally, I'm not taking the scumbags down in Ann Arbor. I don't like how they look without Livers. Now, if an injury update comes out between now and Monday evening, that Livers is going to be able to play, he's rested, he's ready to rock and roll, then yeah, that might change how I play Michigan going into the tournament. But right now, without Livers, they just don't look good. The offense is stagnant. It's slow. It looks like I'm watching a third grade youth basketball game at the YMCA. It's just chaos. Okay. Kids traveling, kids double dribbling, kids running out of bounds. I mean, they don't know what's going on half the time. So if Livers comes back healthy and says he's able to go, then yeah, that'll change how I pick them moving on. But right now, I just don't trust them without him.
I hear you. We have a wild incomer coming into the stream. Kyle Prince. Kyle Prince is in the booth. Welcome, Kyle. Thank you for joining us.
Can you hear me?
How you doing, Kyle? You doing good today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's officially grilled chicken season, so dinner was delicious.
There you go.
Oh my God, grilled chicken season is one of the best seasons. It's almost as good as March Madness. Okay, I actually just had some grilled chicken. I live next door to a fraternity. They let me use their grill, okay, because someone stole our grill actually that we were supposed to get. Different story. Grilled some chicken out in the great outdoors. Had a couple beers, and it was amazing. It was great.
I'm team charcoal personally.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm actually team propane, so we might have to talk about that after the stream.
I got charcoal. I want to give my bracket advice real quick though, and then I'll get out of here.
All right, let's hear it.
538.com. You know Nate Silver?
Yeah.
I don't know who we're talking about.
538.com. It's got all the probabilities for which teams are going to go as far in the bracket. I've used it the last 3 times in my pools, and I've come in second place in 2 of the years.
Wow.
Sometimes your gut is not good enough. Sometimes you got to trust a professional. You guys are professionals. They're also professionals. Yeah. You guys
I mean, statistically professionals. We're all about the heart. We're all about the grit. We're all about how hard people are playing. Different type of professional, okay? But yeah, I mean.
Professionals, very important, feels professionals. But sometimes you got to go to the stats guys, the nerds pushing.
Absolutely.
Is they're wiping their noses or whatever. Sometimes those guys know what's going on. I just got to say, if you're ever in doubt about something, 538.com.
Well, listen, I think that goes for everything. If you're ever in doubt about something, go to the nerd guy because he's going to know. He's going to take emotion out of everything and just give you, he's going to give you the fastball down the middle of the plate. That's what he's going to do. He's going to give you the meat potatoes of how this is going to work. So who do you like? I mean, who are you taking? Who's your statistically best team to take, I guess?
I like the Zags. I just feel like they got the second best freshman in the country. Their team and they look so good. And I kind of want to see them win. If it's not going to be Michigan State, I want them. They look awesome.
So does it give a probability of what Michigan State's chances are? Is it like point? Is there any percentage next to Michigan State?
Yeah. So we have obviously we have a less than 1% chance of winning the tournament according to them, but they're giving us a 5% chance to go to the Elite Eight.
Well, I mean, that's not horrible.
Stranger things have happened. I'm not complaining. You know,
that is not horrible. I definitely thought it would be. Well, that's still kind of bad, but I thought it'd be worse than that.
Yeah, and then if you look at like Zags have a 20% chance of winning the whole thing. Michigan's is 4%. Baylor's is 14%. Illinois is 14%. So they got
holy shit. Baylor's 14% chance to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure like the formula or the algorithm that goes behind it because that's what the nerds are for. Right? Look at the nice chart that they're telling me, but you see 14%, you're like, that looks pretty nice. You know,
I mean, that's wild.
Exactly. I like it. I'm about to check that out. Kyle, you have to send me that link, and then I can share it with all the people out there too, and then we can get them educated.
Yeah, I'll send. All right, fellas, I'm gonna go. Thanks for letting me join in, though. Go Zags and go.
All right, we'll see you. Big thank you to Kyle Prince for popping into the live stream real quick. Really great guy. He'll be doing a lot more for us going forward with Gen Pros too. So really excited what he's capable of doing going forward. But yeah, he's just a hell of a guy.
Can I say something? What? Okay, so listen, please. I know I steal the hearts of millions of people in this country. I know, people are starting to make T-shirts with my mustache on them. I get it. Did he put Beeper fan 101, or was that a John Jay decision?
That wasn't me.
I mean, he might be Team Beeper. He might be a Beeper guy.
I mean, if he's a fan of Ophers, then I mean.
Okay. There we go. There it is. Listen.
We're about to go down that rabbit hole.
I teed that one up and you just smacked it out of the park.
Don't let it happen again. All right, let's move on. Talking about Justin Thomas winning the Masters, winning the Players tournament today. He's been going through a lot of it after some, homophobic slurs were rattled off on camera. He was mic'd up. It was a bad deal. Coming back, bouncing back after losing his sponsorship with Polo Golf. Coming back and winning the Players at TPC Sawgrass. What do you got to say about that, Tom?
Well, let me just start off by saying this. If people heard the way that I talked to my golf ball today on the course, I mean, we'd lose every single sponsorship that we ever had. I mean, so listen, it happens. He might have slipped. Okay. I'm not saying it was the right thing to say, but because it wasn't, obviously. He's a professional athlete. He's got to hold himself to a higher standard. But I told John this morning, okay, at about 11:30, I said, you know what? I'm thinking about throwing some coin on Justin Thomas. And I swear, if we hit on some of the bets that we say we were gonna place, we'd be millionaires. We'd be absolute millionaires. Great win for Justin Thomas. Started the day third back. I think he was 3 or 4 strokes back. Great win for him. And hopefully this kind of helps him bounce back, gets out of that rabbit hole of calling his golf ball, whatever he called it. I won't say it on TV. You people can look it up if you need to. But listen, I'm glad he won it. I'm glad Bryson DeChambeau didn't win. I can't stand that guy. He's an absolute lunatic. But no, great tournament today. And obviously we here at Gym Pros, we look forward to the next one.
Exactly. Yeah, you talk about different bets that we, I guess, wish we would have placed or wish we would have took out or pulled out from different live bets when we were up and wound up losing the entire bet. You can't think like that because hindsight's always going to be 20/20. Yep. You got to keep looking forward to future opportunities. There's always going to be more opportunities out there to succeed. You just got to know and pretty much bite the ones that you're most confident in and you got to listen to outside factors, listen to yourself, listen to different things that kind of sway you in that right direction, you will secure those opportunities on most accounts if you decide to. Now, there's going to be ones that we miss. It's always going to be the case, but we're going to have to, persevere and keep looking out for those next opportunities because they're out there for the taking on a daily basis almost. So it's important to look forward, and this goes for everybody that sports bets or say you're trading stocks or whatever you're doing, trying to boost your monetary gain, boost your capital. Keep that in mind because it's very important to look forward to the future and not dwell in the past. Perfect example is Bitcoin. A lot of people were saying, I wish if I would have invested $100 in Bitcoin in 2010, I'd be a gazillionaire by now. Can't think like that. It's a cancerous mindset because you're dwelling on the past, and it's a thing that you can by no way change, and it's just something that's written in history forever. And by you dwelling on it is distracting you for those future opportunities. So it's important to maybe acknowledge it, but have the willpower and the manpower to be like, okay, that happened. I'll get them next time. That next opportunity, I'm going to seize the opportunity, and I'm going to seize the day. So
absolutely,
just a little bit for thought. So,
but I will say that, I will put this out there. I'm a huge fan of the way that these last few golf tournaments have came down to the wire. I mean, they have been close. And John, this goes back to shoot a month or so ago when Brooksy Koepka, chips in for eagle on 16 to take the lead going into 17. And I can't remember the name of the term. Was that the waste? That might have been the Waste Management. But anyways,
the Waste Management.
Yep. Anyways, a lot of good golf has been going on. Obviously, John and I went out there today and swung the sticks around. Chased the white ball around. Listen. I back nine. I could have been on the PGA Tour. I was absolutely dialed in. I was ripping them left and right. I was ripping some down the middle of the fairway every once in a while. But anyways, great day today. Great day today for Gym Pros. Had a lot of fun. But huge win for Justin Thomas. And remember, guys, moderation's for cowards.
100%. Yeah, it was a great day hitting the sticks, and it was just nice to get out there and embrace the warm weather. There's a little bit of nip in the air, but overall it was really fun. It was good to, swing the sticks and get the gears rolling again, get the joints a little lubricated. Because as everybody knows, we have the Corona Challenge coming up in, almost 3 months. So if you haven't registered for the Corona Challenge yet, please navigate to our website. There is a Corona Challenge page, and there you'll find a registration link to our registration form. Feel free to fill that out. Spots are filling up very fast. There's still some spots available. We want to have everybody have the opportunity to join this great tournament. It's going to be the second annual tournament of its kind, and we'd love to have a lot of familiar faces involved. So if you know me or Tony, or if you've been involved in the Flushing community for any part of your life, we'd love to have you involved in this tournament. So it's also for a great cause, which I think I should mention. For the Flushing Christian Outreach Center, a donation will be made from not only Gym Pros, but other patrons involved in the tournament. And then there's also an opportunity for people that participate in the tournament to make another donation to the FCOC if they so choose to. So it's going to be for a great cause. It's going to be a great day. A lot of great memories will be made. So yeah, do your part, and we'd love to see you out there. Be a part of it. Moving on, a little bit more sports news for all you soccer fans out there. So as everyone knows, Cristiano Ronaldo has played for Juve since 2018 in the Serie A. I know I'm speaking Chinese to Tony right now, but I take a soccer. I'm a big soccer fan. Maybe not, a major soccer fan. We have people like Austin Petty, which are absolutely phenoms when it comes to soccer. Not only playing, but also knowledge of the game of soccer and in and around the league, multiple leagues across different countries. But yeah, talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, that's a name that you should hear and you should recognize right away. Today he announced his transfer back to Real Madrid. the club that he played for, for many, many years. And he was known as the player for Real Madrid. So to have him kind of go back, it's kind of like a comeback moment. It's almost like, I guess, Tom, maybe you can help me out here, provide some little bit of dialogue. What's a great comeback story? Well, who's a player that left their franchise and came back? Maybe like LeBron James leaving the Cavs.
I mean, listen,
coming back. There's other ones out there.
The greatest one of all time, and it's not even close. Well, I mean, again, it might be close over in like Europe because this Cristiano Ronaldo guy, I mean, he's absolutely one of the most famous people in the universe. But the best one is Michael Jordan. He wins a three-peat with the Bulls, goes and plays baseball, for God's sakes, because Michael Jordan can go do that. He goes and plays baseball. And then he comes back. I know he went to a different sport, but then he comes back and sends a fax over to the Chicago Bulls and says, I'm back. And then he wins, another three-peat. So 6 championships total. To me, that's the big one that jumps out to me. Obviously, LeBron James bringing that championship to Cleveland is another huge one. But from what it's now, listen, guys, everyone who's watching this right now, I'm not a big soccer guy. I'm not a huge soccer guy. It's not my wheelhouse. It's not my forte. But I will say I do know who this Ronaldo guy is, and he gets paid an absolute ass load of money to go kick a ball around on a field for 90 minutes. So I have heard of Real Madrid. They obviously, I think that they're one of the more prominent soccer. Are they called programs or are they clubs?
I would call them clubs. They're they're what the average soccer fan would call a super club. So They're basically like Golden State was in the mid 2015s.
Yeah,
that type of team. They're a super club. They're a team. There's many teams across different leagues that are super teams, super clubs. You got PSG, Barcelona. You got Chelsea, you got Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool. There's tons of teams out there that would call themselves super clubs. Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga in Germany. There's a lot of different components to soccer. I was thinking about making my own type of show about soccer, actually, specifically, just to kind of dive into that a little bit deeper. That's still in the works, so nothing's confirmed yet. But we're looking forward to that. And congrats to Ronaldo for that. It's got to be a good feeling to return back to your original club and, show out for the fans that were so loyal to him for so many years. And you talk about, comeback stories. Fans can respond one of two ways. They'll either be very receptive and be very happy that their player is coming back to their team, to their home team, or they'll be very, like, oh, why are you coming back to us now? You left us. I think whatever, kind of mentality you have towards it, you got to be somewhat happy that he showed that mentality to go back to his home club, go back to the club that showed him so much love and prominence for so many years. You got to give him credit. I think it's almost not right to be resentful when someone is returning back to their original club.
I mean, what I think it boils down to is the true fans, the true diehard fans, the fans that would take a bullet to see Real Madrid win, I guess, whatever Real Madrid could win, whatever kind of championships they could win. Those are the fans that are going to say, you know what, Ronaldo, come on back. This is your home. This is where you belong. Okay. And they'll welcome him with open arms. It was a lot like when LeBron went back to Cleveland. A lot of kind of not the fair weather fans, but a lot of kind of the, not so diehard fans just kind of casually enjoy the Cavaliers. They didn't want him back, but the you talk to a true Cavalier fan, they wanted LeBron James back. They wanted him back more than they wanted, than they wanted a hole in the head. So obviously, good for Ronaldo. I don't know if this is kind of the leg of his retirement tour. I don't know. I have zero idea. But it sounds like good news for Real Madrid. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So now we'll dive into some updates resolved and revolving around the Gin Pros world. A little bit of controversies here and there, but we deal with it and we conquer it all the time, every day. It's part of our job description. We take controversy, we bottle it up, we shake it, and then we open it, and then we see what happens. And then more times than not, almost it's almost 100%, but you got to say 99.9%. just to, eliminate all anomalies. By 99% of the time, we resolve those controversies, and they're better than they ever were. So, a little bit of sidetrack there. We'll talk about the updates as far as events we have going on. We have the Corona Challenge coming up. Registration's open for that. Just talked about that briefly a minute ago. Get involved. Get registered. It's on our website. You can find that below. That's on our link tree. You can go to the website link. You can go to our Facebook page. There's a lot of different locations that this registration form is housed at. So be sure to do that. Get your partner involved. Get everybody hyped up about it. Get yourself signed up. We'd love to have you a part of it. Even if you don't know me and Tony that well, we'd love to see you guys. We'd love to meet you guys and talk to you guys a little bit. It was a great deal. It was a great event last year when we had the Corona Challenge, the first annual Corona Challenge. Kind of threw it together. We had as much planning involved as we possibly could have in a week and a half. Just getting all the players and all the teams and all the patrons and everybody involved to help us out. It was great. We met a lot of new people. We saw a lot of familiar faces. It was a really good event for a great cause, and it was great. So be involved with the Corona Challenge. We'd love to see you there. Also, we have the Beer Die Grand Tournament coming in April 17th, 2021. It's a Saturday. So if you know anything about Beer Die, please, let us know, and we'd love to get you registered for that as well. Those are our two big events we have going on. Obviously, the Beer Die Grand Tournament will be in East Lansing. More information to come on that as far as, scheme and everything like that as far as format. The rules for Beer Die are on our website right now. It's on our IFOBB page on our website. So check that out. If you don't know what Beer Die is, go to YouTube and type in how to play Beer Die. I kind of talked about that in my latest Gin and Tonic. And also, after you watch that video, go watch and go look at the rules because the rules will coincide with that video that you watched. So a lot of events coming up. There's some events that are in the works that we haven't even announced yet. So really excited, Tone.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the kickstart, I guess, to the 2021 schedule for Gym Pros. We have a big trip that's coming up here shortly that I'm sure we're going to be announcing. Within a short time here. Just a lot of fun stuff, a lot of really good stuff that we got in the works. Obviously, we planned a lot in a very short amount of time last season. So this season, we're looking to plan more and get more involved, not only with the fans of Gym Pros, but just the communities that we're in. Obviously, the Flushing community, the East Lansing community. We want to be able to get involved with them as much as possible. So always stay tuned to our link tree, to our website, to our socials. Everything's going to be out there. We post content daily, so I'm just super excited for what we got planned.
Exactly. Likewise. So you heard it here first, folks. You heard it on the live stream. If you're here with us live, feel free to share that, share all that information, share the live stream, share the podcast, share everything that we do, because we'd love to have you a part of that journey, the journey that we've been undertaking for so many months here now. Probably coming close to the 6-month mark now for the reboot. So it's been really exciting. It's been a roller coaster ride the entire way, and we're excited for what is to come in 2021. So stay tuned and stay updated with us. I'll leave it at that, though, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the official Gin Pros podcast and the official Gin Pros live stream. I'm your host, John J. II. Have a great night.